ESFP weaknesses. 7 struggles of being an ESFP. The ESFP is one of the 16 MBTI personality types and is lumped together with the ESTP, ISTP, and ISFP as part of the Artisan temperament group. ESFPs have been referred to as the performers, the tactical performer, and the entertainer. Among their positive traits is their light and carefree attitude, humor and spontaneity, and ability to get along well with others. Like with the other MBTI types, there are also areas of difficulty that the ESFP contends with. Here is a look at 7 weaknesses associated with the ESFP personality type. 1. Emotional immaturity. ESFPs have a playful and fun-loving spirit. However, their emotional expressiveness can sometimes get over the top and immoderate. With regards to criticism, ESFPs can be hypersensitive and prone to overreactions. This can make it difficult to confront them without triggering a defensive response. ESFPs may have a tendency to put their pursuit of pleasure ahead of more practical and prudent concerns. When their irresponsible actions do come back to bite them, they can sometimes shift blame onto others and avoid taking true accountability for themselves. 2. Avoiding conflict. When ESFPs find themselves in hot water, they tend to look for the eject button as an easy way out. When the heat is on them or they are being held accountable in some way, ESFPs are apt to say whatever they need to say to get themselves out of the predicament. They may even utilize humor to diffuse the situation or at least take some of the pressure off them. Furthermore, they may have a tendency to avoid dealing with negative issues or fail to take certain problems seriously enough. They may ignore them for as long as possible, seeing it as an unwanted drag on their happiness. ESFPs are ever quick to shift their focus back to what is fun and interesting to them. 3. Planning ahead. Planning and preparation is, for the ESFP, something that can often get overlooked because they tend to be confident in their ability to figure things out as they go. When it comes to making life decisions, ESFP can be very short-sighted and favor the short-term rewards over the long-term. ESFPs may often overestimate their ability to anticipate outcomes, and their notions of where things will lead can be misguided. They may draw conclusions that are too obvious and simplistic and overlook careful consideration for the various contingencies and possible complications that could arise. 4. Reckless tendencies. Exorbitant spending habits and a penchant for saying and doing things deemed to be irresponsible are among the hazards that ESFPs contend with. They can be highly impulsive and display a penchant for not looking before they leap and not thinking before they speak. They tend to go where the feeling and energy takes them, and this makes them excellent at improvisation, but also prone to risky and ill-thought-out behaviors. In the pursuit of a good time, ESFPs can land themselves in situations that are precarious. Their tolerance for risk can be high while their perception of the danger involved can be too minimized. 5. Looking after themselves. ESFPs tend to have a robust and hardy constitution. The hedonistic and pleasure-seeking appetites of their SE preference can lead ESFPs to sometimes overindulge and fall behind on the self-maintenance. Self-discipline can be hard for them, but oftentimes, their sense of vanity is a strong motivator to do what's necessary to stay looking their best. ESFPs are very concerned with appearances, but sometimes, emotional issues can lead them to slack off on their fitness regimen or commitment to healthy lifestyle. Sometimes ESFPs can fail to pay attention to what their body is telling them and continue down a path of debaucherous indulgences and immoderate habits that may cost them over time. 6. Focus. For ESFP, maintaining focus for extended periods can be tough. Although ESFPs are grounded in the here and now, their attention can be highly distractible and reactive to their environment. Moreover, ESFPs tend to bore easily when beholden to restrictive tasks. To stay more engaged, ESFPs prefer to multitask and can hardly be anchored to any one thing for too long. In between stretches of intensive mental work, ESFPs will often seek to interact and mingle with people in their environment, or otherwise goof off and do something fun but probably unproductive. 7. Anti-delusions. As with other types, ESFPs are inclined to overestimate the strength of their inferior function. The ESFP's use of their inferior I can manifest as a delusional belief in their perceptivity and personal insight. ESFPs have an underlying desire to give advice and counsel to others. Whilst their intentions are often noble and well-meaning, the quality of insight that ESFPs offer may often be callow at best. They may extrapolate what they believe to be a deep and poignant point when really it is little more than a trite or misguided platitude. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to stay posted. Until next time.